Welcome back to Geek Out. I decided to start a series of videos where I'm going to build a musical instrument from the ground up. I guess you might want to consider it to be an electric guitar, but it's going to have many strings and it's going to be weird and essentially entirely hand built. Um, I got some ideas about how I'm going to do it. I don't know yet exactly what I'm going to do, but I got some ideas and I'm starting to assemble materials. Uh, I talked a little bit about the principle of a guitar pickup. It's a magnet and a coil. Here I have a guitar pickup, an oldie, um, that I recoiled for a friend of mine. So what is it? Well, most guitars are six strings, one, two, three, four, five, six. So I got six magnets here, six magnets, and around the whole entire outside is a big coil. So when the strings are stretched in front of the magnets, you pluck the string, it creates an electromagnetic differential that produces some juice on the other end. And so I decided that I'm going to build guitar, my guitar, it's not really a guitar, around this hunker. This is a giant, very strong magnet that my wife and I accidentally purchased because we thought it was in centimeters, in millimeters, but it turned out to be in centimeters. So we're looking at a 10 by 10 magnet, 10 by 10 centimeter magnet, very strong. So when you're working with magnets, be careful with your fingers, kiddies. They'll snap and pinch your little fingertips off real easy. And so, like I said, it's a magnet, it's a coil, and something to get that magnet to create some sort of differential. So I have I collect a lot of electronic and electrical junk. This is a relay. It's basically an electromagnetic switch. So the idea here is you put some volts here, you connect this to a battery, or you just give it an electrical impulse, and it goes click, click, and basically on the other end you got a switch. So I could, with something like this, I could turn on and off a light, remote control, or what have you. There's a coil in there, isn't there? Right? There's a pretty nice coil in there. Pretty fine wire. So I busted up, I got a bunch of these, and I got other coils, like this hunker. I'm very curious about this one. Whoops, be careful with the magnets, kids. and so I busted this open, kind of got rid of the junk, and I got the coil here now. And it's just sitting there on the magnet because inside the coil, because it's a relay, it already has this kind of steel rod in there. So that steel rod is going to transfer the magnetic energy of this giant magnet. And I got a couple of alligator clips on my thing going into my multimeter. Now this is a good, professional quality multimeter, but you can get something like this, a little one like this, super cheap. And again, if you buy a whole electronic kit, you get all the parts. You get enough to get started in this stuff. All right, so what do I got here? I got my magnet, my big ass magnet. And on top of my magnet, I've just put a steel ball. And my coil is just basically just magnetized to the ball. And here is my multimeter set to AC voltage. And so, as you'll notice, as soon as I just sort of flip the ball, whoops, let me hold this so it doesn't move. There we go. I'm getting an electrical impulse in AC, meaning it's a wave. It's an up and down. And so imagine this ball being the guitar string, which is creating a field in the magnet that is being transferred to the coil, and then that coil is seeing those fluctuations and producing microvolts here. We're really talking about very little. But that's what amplifiers are for. So of course, this, imagine your jack going into your amp from your guitar to your amp, and then your amp to your speaker. The amplifier, of course, the purpose of it is to make this stronger signal. Make a stronger signal. That's basically it. Yeah, so that's basically it. You can see my voltmeter going up and down there. So imagine again that this is the guitar string, and that's essentially going to be the founding principle of my instrument. I know I want to use this big ass magnet and a bunch of coils that I stick, you know, to the other side of the magnet, and then have a bunch of strings going across it. That's my plan for my musical instrument. Let's see how it goes.